welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be telling you guys a story of how I was literally forced to marry a man from my village, not my tribe, from my village. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is MEKNEX, and here on this channel I do hair, I do DIY, I do a little bit of relationship talk, I do a little bit of money talk, I do a little bit of just everything I love to do. So if you're interested in any of these things, please consider to subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up because it promises to be amazing. It goes like this. I'm from a family of 7, and we have and we are 3 girls. So when we started growing up, as little as we were, say I was about 12 years or so, in conversations my dad started making it obvious that he was not in support of us getting married to anybody that is not from his village. I'm from Nigeria, and in Nigeria we have 36 states plus our capital, which made it 37. So it means that I'm not allowed to marry from any of these 36 states aside my own state. And in my own state, I'm not allowed to marry anyone outside my hometown. Say for instance, we have 17 local governments in my state. I'm not allowed to marry from these other 17 local governments aside my own local government. Say for instance, in my local government we have 10 hometowns or 10 villages. I'm not allowed to marry from any of these other villages aside my own village, particularly my own dad's village. Isn't that crazy? I was forced to marry this way. So any guy from Yoruba is a no. Any guy from Efik is a no. Any guy from Imo State is a no. Anambra is a no. Abia State, yes, but if he's not from this particular village, is still a no. So I had a very limited choice. I was not like every other girl. I had the choice to choose. I had a very limited choice. So I was actually forced. So while we were still very young, in conversations, my dad would chip in things like, you are not allowed to marry anybody outside our village, outside my hometown, not my tribe. Anybody from my tribe is not even welcome. So he kept on saying things like that, but I wasn't taking it serious. Like, that is just his own words. And then I was still very young to even think of what he was saying. So when I started growing up, I and my sisters, my dad started saying it seriously. He started saying it seriously. He kept on emphasizing that you must marry from my hometown. All of you girls must marry a man from my hometown. How was that going to be possible? I'm an African girl. I'm not allowed to ask a man out. I'm not allowed to walk up to any guy and say, sir, I want to marry you, and things like that. It's not done in Africa. And the second part is, I did not grow anywhere close to my hometown. Nowhere close to my hometown. I was not in contact with anybody from my hometown, aside maybe a few relations, cousins and nephews here and there. So my dad kept on saying it. At a point I started crying. I would be like, Mom, can you hear what my dad is saying? Like, he can't even pin his guys, his male sons, to marry a girl from his hometown. How does he think it's even possible for me, a girl who does not have a choice of where to choose a man from? How possible is it for me to marry from his village? He started going on like this. Sometimes he'll say nothing about it, and sometimes when maybe a friend comes to visit and he finds out that this friend is not from my state or village, he gets angry. I'm not talking about marrying from my state. I'm talking about marrying from my village. I'm from Abia State. So if I get a guy from Umuahia, it is a no from my dad. As time goes on, my dad started making threats. Like, if you don't marry from my village, I'm going to kill myself. If you don't marry from my village, I'm going to become a drunk. If you don't marry from my village, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I will disown you. I will do... He literally was forcing me and my younger sisters to marry from his hometown. He was so serious about it. I became so uncomfortable with this. Like, the way he was saying it, I felt for him. I don't know what to do. I was so scared. Even though then I was not thinking of marriage, I was still very young, but he started saying it very early. Like, this at a very, very young age, but we were not concerned. But when I started growing up and I realized how difficult it is for me to actually fulfill this his wish, I was so scared. And I started challenging him. Sometimes I talk back at him and tell him it's not even possible. Try and make your sons marry from there. Things like that. So one day after a very big argument, and I saw that he was actually very serious, I then went out. I went to God in prayer. I that day I wrote down my request. I brought down my heart and I said, Lord, I am willing if this is possible. I read the portion of the Bible, Ephesians chapter 6. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor your father and mother, for this is the first commandment with promise, so that your days may be long and it shall be well with you. So I told myself that if it's possible to obey him, then Lord, I want to obey him. I prayed genuinely from my heart that day and said, Lord, I am open. If you're going to give me a husband from my dad's hometown, then I'm open for it. I just left it and stopped arguing with my dad. It was not an easy decision. So a little advice for you young ladies out there or anyone watching this: do not wait until you are in a situation before you start praying. Do not wait until you are desperate for something before you start praying for that thing. Pray for it even when you don't need it immediately. Pray for it anytime you remember about, or anytime you remember something you need, maybe in the future. So I just prayed about it and left it. Do you know, guys, that same month, guys from my village started reaching out to me. I started meeting a lot of guys from my state, from my hometown particularly, and it was amazing. And 6 years down the line, the one I connected with then became my husband. The most interesting thing about it was that the day I went to present my husband to my dad, the day I went to show my dad the man I want to marry, my dad called me and said, is this the man you really want to spend the rest of your life with? Or are you just trying to obey me? I said, no, Dad, I love this man. He said, no, if it's because you want to obey me, I relieve you of everything. You can marry anybody you want. I don't care, even if it's from here or not. I don't mind anymore. Just don't obey me and go into something you don't want to go into. And I said, well, the man I love happened to come from your village. So you see, that was how I was forced to marry a man from my village. And I can tell you that I am not, and I will not regret this decision. It brings me joy whenever I think of it, that I'm actually going to be from my state all the days of my life. Oh, it's so interesting. I don't have to be changing states, changing local governments and stuff like that. So now so my advice again is obedience sometimes, every time, is better, way better than sacrifice, because my dad blessed me. He blessed me so much from his heart that I can see that every of his blessings are coming to pass, will come to pass, and he's still waiting for me in the future. He blessed me and he's still blessing me even till tomorrow. So I was actually forced to marry a man from my village, but it was not in that sense. Like, I'm happy I was. If not, maybe I wouldn't have met the wonderful guy I am spending my life with. Thank you so much, guys, for coming back. If you really enjoyed this story, please don't forget to click the like button so that I can reach other people who might need it. Thank you so much, guys. See you in my next one. Bye.